Why do people that don't need handicap parking park in the spot anyways? It just makes me mad. Welcome to the channel, guys, and welcome to another Discussion Friday. I'm Jorgey, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the little bell for post notifications. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So one of the things that really makes me mad with being in a wheelchair and needing handicap parking is that people that don't need the handicap parking seem to park in the handicap spot. I can't tell you how many encounters I have had where I have been looking for a parking spot and the handicap parking spot that I find is occupied by someone who does not need the handicap parking spot. It just makes me mad because it is very hard to park in a normal parking spot and still be able to get my wheelchair loaded and unloaded. With being in a wheelchair and needing a handicap accessible van to get around, I need somewhere to put the ramp down to be able to get in and out of my van. So I most definitely need a handicap van accessible spot. And when people park there, I can't get in and out of the van if I park in a normal spot, because then the vehicle next to me is too close and I'm unable to get the ramp out. Now, I've never really understood why people that don't need the handicap spot park there. Is it convenient for them? I don't know. That's a question I've had for the longest time. I feel that most people park there because they feel it's convenient for them because it's close to the door and they can get in and out as quick as possible. There have been so many times where I have seen someone pull into a handicap parking spot and they get out and they're perfectly fine. They have no issues walking anywhere or any issues with mobility at all. Now, sometimes you can't really get too upset about that because sometimes there are people that have prosthetic legs or something and it seems like they're fine, but they really aren't. So you can't really jump to conclusions and you can't really assume that they don't need the spot. But when they don't have a handicap sticker or a handicap license plate, it's kind of hard not to assume that they don't need it. Another thing that irritates me about handicap parking is that even if someone needs it and they park in a van accessible spot when a normal handicap spot is available for them to use. If you don't really need the van accessible part, if you're not going to be getting a wheelchair in and out, or if you're not going to be using a ramp, please do not park in the van accessible spot if you can help it, if there's a normal handicap spot available to you. It is very hard to go places and need to park and get a ramp in and out, and you don't have a parking space available to do that. So if you are one of these people that do not need a handicap accessible spot and you park in it, all I can do is ask you to please not do that anymore. It may be convenient for you, but it is very inconvenient for someone in a wheelchair that needs to get a ramp down to get in and out of their vehicle. So please just don't park there for convenience. You can park in a normal spot and the distance will be just as far for you. And if you're one of those people that do need a handicap parking spot, but you do not need the van accessible spot, please just park in a normal handicap spot if one is available. If one is not available, then don't worry about it. It's no big deal. You can park in any handicap spot you need in that situation. One thing that also makes me mad about this situation is that it is not enforced very well. I very rarely see someone get a ticket for being parked in a handicapped spot when they don't even need it. And that's kind of irritating that it doesn't get enforced, because if it's not going to get enforced, then people aren't going to really care and they're going to park there anyways, because I don't know, because that's just how people are these days. If there's no consequence for it, then they don't care if they're being an inconvenience to someone else. So that is very irritating as well. You know what I think? I think that police should try to enforce this more, and they should check handicap parking spots more often to make sure that people aren't taking advantage of these spots. Maybe the fine for parking in a handicap spot, if you don't need it, should be raised as well. Maybe that'll teach people that they should not be taking advantage of these spots. One thing I've noticed that Walmart is doing to make handicap spots more convenient is they are making the handicap parking spots, they're like oversizing them and turning them sideways in their parking lot so that you have more room to get in and out of your vehicle if you are in a wheelchair. Now, I think this is a really good idea. I really appreciate that Walmart is trying to make handicap parking more accessible for people. Now, I've also seen online, doing some research about these handicap parking spots, people are complaining online and asking why Walmart is wasting all this parking spot just for a handicap spot. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, I do not think that it is a waste of space, because things need to be made more accessible when it comes to handicap parking. Well, guys, that's going to do it for today's Discussion Friday. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you don't mind me going on a rant about this topic, but I feel like it is something that needs to be said, and it's something that needs to be discussed. So I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to smash that like button again, and I will see you guys next time on Discussion Friday. Keep rolling. Peace. Don't forget to check out my merch in my previous video and previous vlog after the video. Stick around.